Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. You are listening to weather from the National Weather Service. Here's the area forecast discussion from the National Weather Service, Chicago, Illinois, Romeoville, Illinois, 5:37 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. Short-term forecast issued 3:16 p.m. Central Standard Time through Thursday. Some areas, mainly west and southwest of Chicago, have managed to see breaks in the low stratus early this afternoon. Temperatures have also managed to warm into the lower to mid-40s, even in the areas that have been socked in low stratus all day. The weather remains quiet the rest of the afternoon with light west to at times variable winds. This evening and overnight, winds will flop to the north and then northeasterly as surface high pressure shifts east along the U.S.-Canadian border and over Lake Superior. Temperatures tonight dip into the lower to mid-30s in most areas, with upper 20s to around 30 degrees possible across northwest Illinois and near the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. Think that the fog risk is much lower tonight than last night, with slightly higher winds and lower dew points slashing into the area. That being said, cannot rule out a highly localized patch of fog in especially fog-prone areas outside of the Chicago metro. Heading into Thursday, our next weather system will be approaching from the west. There continues to be a slowing trend with the arrival of the bulk of the precipitation with the system, and it's discussed in more detail in the long-term section below. Out ahead of the surface low, warm advective showers may extend eastward across central Illinois and into Indiana. It is possible that this activity lifts far enough north to reach portions of the area during the afternoon, so have maintained a chance of light rain mainly south of the Kankakee River Valley. Think that the Chicago metro should stay dry through the daytime hours. Long-term forecast for Chicago issued at 3:16 p.m. Wednesday, December 7th. This is Thursday night through Sunday night. At the start of the long-term period, a broad low-pressure system will be lifting northward into Ohio River Valley, while a shortwave trough moves across the Central Plains, which will bring widespread precipitation to the area Thursday night through the day on Friday. Initially, guidance is in good agreement that the precipitation would start off as rain, but as the aforementioned shortwave moves into northern Illinois late Thursday night, temperatures aloft are expected to cool, which should transition some of the rain to a rain-snow mix or possibly all snow in spots. However, there continues to be some uncertainty in how far south this cold air loft would make it, which will determine who will see what precipitation type. Forecast soundings show that most of the temperature profiles along and north of Interstate 88 would become cold enough to support a rain-snow mix, with areas along the Illinois-Wisconsin border possibly transitioning to all snow by Friday morning, with areas south of Interstate 88 expected to remain all rain. The majority of guidance has continued to favor this solution, with the exception of the GFS, which continues to show notably warmer temperature profiles across northern Illinois, which would keep the snow north of our area in Wisconsin. Given that the GFS appears to be an outlier, I decided to favor the consensus for this forecast. The precipitation is expected to continue through most of the day on Friday as the system continues to gradually push north and eastward into the eastern Ohio River Valley and eastern Great Lakes. As the system begins to depart the late Friday afternoon, drier air is expected to move in aloft, which should reduce the amount of moisture available in the dendritic growth zone, the DGZ, to produce snow, and therefore transition precipitation back to rain to close out the day on Friday. Given the back and forth transition of precipitation types, snowfall amounts continue to look on the lighter side, with the highest amounts around an inch expected to remain closest to the Illinois-Wisconsin border, with 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch expected for areas along and north of Interstate 88. While this is the favored solution, there is still that uncertainty as to how far south the cold air aloft would make it, which could alter the snowfall totals slightly if the forecast trends differently. A lull in precipitation will move in for Friday night and Saturday ahead of another upper-level trough that is expected to move through the upper Midwest and Great Lakes regions Saturday night into the day on Sunday. The lingering cold air aloft from the Friday system will once again create a precipitation-type challenge, as forecast soundings show temperatures in the lowest part of the atmosphere may stay just above freezing, especially for areas south of Interstate 88. Given the uncertainty and time range of this system, I did add in some rain-snow mix for areas across far northern and northwestern Illinois, where forecast soundings look to be mostly below freezing. But trends will have to be monitored to see where the rain-snow line will set up. Otherwise, expect temperatures through the weekend to remain seasonable, with highs in the mid to upper 30s and lower 40s, and overnight lows upper 20s and lower 30s. Now we're going to talk about Monday through Wednesday, very extended. Heading into the work week. Next week, a vigorous upper trough digs across the western continental United States just as our weekend trough shifts east over New England. This places the local area briefly beneath a narrow high-amplitude ridge. Accordingly, the weather on Monday looks quiet, with mild temperatures continuing with highs in the 40s. As the western trough begins to translate east of the Rockies, cyclogenesis begins over the Central Plains. This will eventually swing a cold front across the area as the associated surface low begins to occlude and will be responsible for potential severe weather across the south Central Plains and lower Mississippi Valley. There has been a slowing trend the past couple of days with this system, but the latest few runs have been consistent enough that showers are likely in the local area late Monday night through Tuesday. Winds out ahead of the front could also be rather gusty out of the southeast. Still plenty of time to parse out the details with this system as it gets closer, though. You've been listening to weather from the National Weather Service.